In this digital in this digital in this digital age, we in this digital age, we as a society are becoming increasingly aware.
You just have to laugh.
Take two.
Hello, visionaries. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maresa Talbert. I'm the founder and CEO of Talbert Law Office, your favorite go-to legal resource for all things business, nonprofit, and intellectual property law. In this digital age, we as a society are becoming increasingly aware of digital ownership, be it a photograph online, or website copy, a PowerPoint presentation, or even a song playing in the background of a YouTuber's vlog. Almost everything that exists online has a rightful owner. And generally speaking, that owner owns the copyright to that work, if it's copyrightable. So what happens when you use that perfect quote or that befitting photo for your own use? Do you actually have to reach out to the record label and ask for permission every single time you want to record you and your girls hitting the cuff it challenge? Well, no, of course not. So in this video, I'm going to discuss how you can legally use copyrighted materials without anyone's permission.
My faith rising. I'm crawling out the trenches, holding me.
There is a doctrine that grants permission to use copyrighted works under certain conditions without permission from the copyright owner. This doctrine is known as fair use. Under copyright law, activities that qualify as fair use include criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, research, and scholarship. So let me give you an example. If I recorded the movie, let's say My Cousin Vinny, which is a copyrighted work, and I posted it on my YouTube channel for a public consumption, that alone would be considered copyright infringement. However, if I took the clip of Maresa Tomei's character and played that clip while critiquing the lawyer's cross-examination of her in the courtroom when he's asking her about the cars, then I can argue that I use the copyrighted material for commentary and or criticism, and then that should qualify for fair use. Fair use is a valid defense against copyright infringement. However, there is no exact standard for when something is fair use or not. It's more of a sliding scale and balancing test where some factors can increase the risk of copyright infringement and some factors can reduce the risk of copyright infringement. Understanding the basic factors of fair use can help you make a more informed decision when you're incorporating copyrighted materials within your business and or social media presence. So, let's quickly break down the 4 factors that are used to evaluate fair use. Number 1, the purpose and character of the use. I like to call this transformational use. This factor considers how well did you transform your use from its original purpose. So, in my example of using the My Cousin Vinny clip, that movie is commercial in nature and used for entertainment purposes. However, the way that I explain using the clip with the additional commentary and criticism is for educational purposes. So if I use a copyrighted work in a way that is transformative, that brings new purpose or expression to the work, then that's going to weigh in favor of fair use. On the other hand, if I posted the movie just generally for public consumption and I get all these new subscribers and all these people who watch the video over and over and my channel is monetized and I'm making money off of these views, then I've used the work in the same way as its original purpose, commercial in nature and entertainment purposes, and that is going to weigh in favor of copyright infringement. All right, number 2, the nature of the copyrighted work. This factor looks at 2 separate elements of a copyrighted work, fact or fiction, and published or unpublished. It is much harder to claim copyright protection over a factual work because copyright protects creativity. So if you are using the facts of an event or a story, that's going to weigh a little bit more in favor of fair use as opposed to something that is completely imaginary, completely fiction, and ultimately relies on a person's creativity. The more creative a work, the easier it is to prove that you copied it. And the fair use evaluation is going to take that into consideration. Next, fair use will consider whether copyrighted material is published or unpublished. And just to be clear, when I'm using the term copyrighted material, I'm including copyrighted material in the moment that it is created, not only copyrighted material that is registered with the Copyright Office. So if you took your little sister's book of poems that she keeps in her nightstand and then went and published it as a book that's now a bestseller, it's going to be real hard to claim fair use. Alternatively, if you go and recite Maya Angelou's Still I Rise poem at a spoken word event, which is widely known and widely published, now that looks like fair use. Why? Because nobody thinks that you came up with Still I Rise. And it doesn't take any shine away from Maya Angelou. That just makes sense, don't it? Number 3, the amount and substantiality of the portion that is taken. I like to call this factor qualitative versus quantitative. How much of the copyrighted work are you using compared to the work as a whole? And does the portion that you're using go to the heart of the work itself? The larger the portion of the copyrighted work that you use, the weaker the fair use argument becomes. But even if a small portion is used, fair use still may not apply if it is considered the most important part of the work. It just bees like that sometimes. And number 4, the effect of use on potential markets. I say this is the commercial effect. How much money are you making off of using this copyrighted work? And are you interfering with the bag of the author? Are you taking money out of their pockets? If so, that's not fair use, boo. That easy. So let's just quickly recap how you can use copyrighted works without the owner's permission. Number 1, you make the use transformative and different from its original purpose by adding some level of commentary or criticism. Number 2, use as little of the work as possible. And even in using a small portion of the work, ensure that it's not the heart of the work or the most important part of the work. Number 3, don't cause confusion of ownership. Plain and simple. And number 4, do not interfere with the work's commercial market. Don't take any money out of their pocket. That's it. In my next video, I'm going to talk about why giving credit, known as attribution, to an author for using their copyrighted work is not enough. Well, that's all I have for this video. Please leave me your questions and your feedback in the comments. And until next time, this is Talbert Law Office, your favorite go-to legal resource for all things business, nonprofit, and intellectual property law. I'll see you in the next video.
I done made it this far. I'ma keep it pushing, yeah. Even made it through the